And welcome back, folks. Some more Celeste action for you, this time between Millay and Archie Gang's Programmatic, who has a face cam. I am Electric. Joining me now in the booth is Troy of Athens. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. I just got back from a really nice dinner, and I'm ready to settle down for the night and watch some good Celeste. Unfortunately, I missed the first two races, but I see the results here, so that helps.
Yep, we got some really nice standings coming out now. M Sushi at the top of the points leaderboard right now with his 2 wins, and especially that really decisive win against Psyched. And then Marlon coming right behind him, also 2 wins, with Tej getting knocked into 3rd after that loss.
Yeah, Marlon showing us all being able to beat TGH. And
yeah,
I'm sure he talked a bunch about all the PBs that have happened over this week that before.
Oh yeah, it's been a really huge week for this game.
Yeah, for Derby finally managed to get his first recorded 27, and it was a 27 4x at that, so that's great for him. TGH is bringing himself down. He's managed to get down to a 27 3x this week, and so yeah. People are progressing and getting to where they need to be to potentially compete with Marlon.
Yeah, we've got, I think, 5 players in the 27 gang right now.
Yes, we have the top 5 has the 27 now. Ooh, Millay having a bit of trouble there at the start already. Missing the corner boost, unfortunately.
And then Programmatic having a little bit of trouble getting into this room. The lead just trading back and forth already.
Yeah. So it is staying relatively even with some mistakes that are happening because of the mistakes that are happening on both ends.
So they seem to have picked up their momentum though, getting some nice movement throughout these past few rooms.
Yeah, it's just little movement things of what you decide to do on each screen that is potentially changing things. No actual hiccups, just decisions of each screen that is actually changing the lead. Oh, but there's the missing the bunny hop at the end of that, at the end of that hyper. Not able to get that and ended up diving into the ground, allowing Programmatic to have a couple screens of a lead actually.
Yeah, and that really nice spike bounce from Programmatic, getting past some of the more difficult rooms in the city. But Millay also picking up his momentum and getting through them as well. 137 on Program's side. Let's see, Millay with a 141, only 4 seconds apart.
Yeah, in terms of Forsaken Cities that we've been expecting from this league, it is a bit on the lower side, and you can see from Programmatic that he was a bit unhappy with that chapter, and even despite him getting the faster of the two. So that does definitely tell you something about how they're feeling right now, about just going into this beginning of the race.
Yep. Now, Programmatic misses that little skip where you can actually get into the dream block right after the cutscene. Still chugging along really nicely, making his way up towards Battling. Millay showing off some nice movement though, not having the same bobbles that he had in City.
Yeah, looking so good so far with just the battling screens. Programmatic just about a screen ahead. There is the in-game timers are about synced, so it's going pretty good. And now on the final screen of the battle and chase sequence. Okay, managed to stay ahead of the Battle-ins. That's the most important part of that, really, is really just making it so the staying fast enough so that the Battle-ins don't catch up to you at all. And then you don't even have to worry about them.
Yep. And so, Programmatic moving into the Awake section, they are very close together right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Programmatic losing his momentum there, not quite able to have it carry over. That actually I believe it did momentarily allow Millay to catch up, but I feel like they're both struggling a little bit in this awake section. And yeah, that ended up pretty even in the end there.
And you can really see the disappointment coming from Programmatic, that deep sigh.
In the same second. That was they're 0.2 seconds apart, with Millay 0.2 seconds in the lead currently. It was 35.5 on Millay and 35.7 on Programmatic. So
yeah, now we've got both of them soaring along. We're keeping them synced up since they're so close together.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can use unlocking the door at roughly the same time. They're managing to stay very close together.
Oh, Millay gonna getting over the corner.
Yeah, not able to keep the momentum and had to wait out a cycle. That's unfortunate there. Gonna actually put him like having to wait a full cycle in any of these rooms is significant.
Oh yeah, especially with that sync that we just had.
Yeah.
Let's see how long Programmatic can hold on to this very tenuous lead. Not very long, it seems. Already Millay back in the lead with that death.
Yeah. Unfortunately not able to make it work, but then Millay taking a couple deaths on this room here with the spinning bunnies around the platforms, and just Programmatic in the lead now by a few screen. Well, that screen takes a while, so.
I think it was really just like he kept getting a left dash instead of a left up for some reason. Very strange.
Well, I feel like with the first death, I think I just don't think he entered correctly. But then the second death was because of not being used to doing a death cycle in that room, because almost everyone is so used to easily doing the entrance cycle, because it's generally considered to be a relatively easier room in the chapter. So most people don't need to practice that death cycle.
Yeah.
So I think after his second, like the second death in that room was actually just because he did not know what to do.
Now Programmatic, speaking of death cycles, having some issues with this room.
Yeah. But Millay not getting the spike jump off of here, actually taking quite a bit of time off of that. Programmatic able to get it on his second try. Programmatic not feeling it right now out of that. He's definitely trying to get more concentrated. You can tell in his face that he's just trying to get more focused.
Yep.
Millay is going to be able to keep the lead, but not by much. This is, as we keep seeing, this could turn very quickly on any of these screens.
Now
going
we've got,
third section.
Both in the laundry room now.
Yeah, the third part of the huge mess. But
oh boy,
Millay
Programmatic takes the lead back,
taking two deaths on that screen that you typically would get a corner boost in, but not able to get any sort of speed boost of any sort really on that screen, and just falling behind now. So yeah, Programmatic now in the lead by a couple screens.
For whatever reason, when Millay takes one death, he ends up taking 2 or 3, it seems.
Yeah. Millay tripping up on the key room there, not quite able to keep the momentum going. Okay, and Programmatic gonna be first into this longer room and gonna be the first to approach Demo Dash if everything goes correctly. Even this screen can sometimes be a hassle, but nope, not going to be. Gonna take the checkpoint, approaching Demo Dash, and fails it on the first try. Millay getting on the first try though, and Programmatic getting on the second, so Millay slightly ahead, but not by much. Although actually the timers have desynced at this point, so Millay actually is further ahead than he looks.
Yeah, only about 2 seconds of desync, but we've got the fake sync going for y'all.
Yeah, and it's going great. Programmatic not quite able to keep the height there, and unfortunately had a wall climb. But now we got the fake sync really going on this screen. The pseudo sync.
The screen transition looks almost like the screen disappearing off one side and coming up the other.
Right.
A little bit apart in the bouncer room.
Oh, Millay messing up the entrance cycle. Gonna give Programmatic an opening here. At this. Definitely is further into the screen than Millay is right now. Gonna be out of there. Gonna be the first out of Chapter 3. 8:27, 4:49 on the chapter timer. Not in love with that time, of course, but they're currently ahead. Not by much. Was that 8:29 on both sides, actually?
I think it was. That was... Oh, man, they're close. Moving into Golden Ridge. And 8:28 was what it was on Programmatic side.
Okay, yeah, you saw it in the stream. You caught it in the stream again, okay.
Oh, Programmatic had some issues in that room, though.
Yeah, messing up on the reverse hyper there. But is able to keep the momentum going in that first win screen. Millay doing a bit more of a bubble skip than Programmatic there. And of course Archie right there. No problems.
Beautiful
Millay
stuff.
opting not to really go for Archie. He's doing the older method of that skip on that screen, not doing Archie at all.
I mean, I think it's in Programmatic's contract with Archie Gang to always perform Archie.
I'm sure it is. It makes sense.
Gotta support the burb.
Right. Okay, Programmatic taking a deep breath as he prepares for this ultra. Able to get it. Okay, Programmatic not able to carry momentum over through screen transitions, and isn't taking... Okay, taking a slightly slower route than I'm used to seeing on that screen there. Millay getting that fast, the fast method there. And now Programmatic preparing for this ultra. Second auto-scroller skip now. Able to pull it off.
Nice.
Millay choosing not to do it is going to get the key.
Yeah, getting coinless is pretty wild.
Ooh, Millay having a bit of trouble on this screen. Sometimes it is hard to land on the 1 pixel platform. And Programmatic now on the harsh wind section, you know, cliff's edge.
Yeah, and this is really where movement becomes super paramount, because missing anything can cost you a lot of time from just having to wait, since you can't really dash, or since you can't really move through the wind aside from dashing. Right. In a lot of cases, you just have to take a death like that.
Still gonna remain in the lead though. Not gonna go for the reverse hyper. On the final screen now, Programmatic finishing it out. Getting an 11:20 it looks like. And now our first really definitive lead that we have here, coming out of Chapter 4, with what looks to be at least 10 seconds. Gonna be about almost 15.
Yeah, that's really, really huge, especially as close as we saw these guys earlier.
Right.
Let's see if you can maintain that, though, through Chapter 5.
Yeah, certainly where the difficulty goes up, so definitely going to be a part to look out for. Ooh, Millay not able to get the reverse hyper there. Having to go for it on a second go. Putting him further behind. And Programmatic getting the button warp there. Well done, and now going for his yeet.
Oh,
That
it's
looks
good.
Yeah,
Beautiful
nice.
yeet. Meanwhile, we have Millay going for it in just a sec. If he can get past this roof.
He just had a missing the wall bounce and not able to get the bunny hop. Got the momentum carried over, but was not able to get the height that he needed.
Not even quite a yeetin at that point.
Okay, Programmatic going to be out at the screen, out of 5A now. A 1:15.
Not a bad A-side time.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
And Millay getting a 125, it looks like, yeah, with a death, so. Okay, coming up now on Bub's drop for Programmatic. With the gap that they currently have, that would be, it's very important that Programmatic is able to land this.
Yep. He's really taking the time to line it up, and it's good. Very nice.
Yes, nice.
Dustin, that's exactly the case. So it was found a while back that completing a B-side will unlock the next A-side, even if you haven't completed the A-side of that same chapter. And it turns out that with that trick that Programmatic just did, it saves significant time to go ahead and do 5B rather than complete all of 5A.
Yes, the route you see here where we unlock the B-side with the cassette that we got at the end where we left 5A allows us to unlock 5B and then beat 5B, and it's actually about 20 seconds faster. So that's a lot of freedom. So like 20 seconds faster optimally. So that's actually like a lot of freedom there of potential mess ups because you know not necessarily going to save 20 seconds on your A side all the time.
Yep. Now also Millay getting Bub's drop first try. That trick is very difficult though. Not quite as difficult as I forget what exactly the first trick was called to do a similar thing but without the checkpoint manipulation. I think it was like demon something.
I don't know the name of it, but it's just a really annoying corner boost is essentially what it is.
Yeah. And so once Bub's drop was found, people just started doing that and never looked back.
It's a corner boost off of a corner jump.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What I mean by off of a corner jump is because of like the whole idea that you could jump off of any corner, even if there are spikes on it. Because it's just properties of spikes.
Dreg corner, that's what it was. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I knew it started with the D and it was bad. I guess that's why my mind went to demon something.
You dread it. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, Programmatic able to get through the gauntlet. It looks like. Yep, able to pull that off. Moving on to the next part. And we'll be approaching the impossible room.
Now, Millay with some really, really nice movement through the pillar room.
Mm-hmm. Millay, yeah, and now off his Theo section. Ooh, not having Theo hit the spring there. And Programmatic messing up on the rhythm screen. The final room of 5B. Able to get through on the second try. Unfortunately, having to deal with the death cycle though. Millay nearly missing that shot.
I'm having to go back and pick up Theo again.
Okay, 15:23 at the end of 5B.
Yeah, so like if you add Programmatic's 2 chapter times together, the 1:15 and then the 2:41, a standard A time I think is just recently dipped below 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can see the time save there. So now Programmatic moving on into reflection. It's always been amazing to me how half the run is just in 2 chapters.
Ooh, Millay missing the feather skip there. Typically called like a trivial thing that happened, and that's in the beginning section of chapter 6. So that's unfortunate. Programmatic not getting an extended hyper at the end of that. Having to redo that screen. Yet again, just like things that seem like they'd just be kind of trivial skips that we do just not quite working out for some reason on these players.
Nicely moving along, though.
Mm-hmm. Programmatic now in the hollows of Chapter 6. Millay following suit. Ooh. Okay, not able to get the dash angle right there. And it looks, and I do want to point out that it looks like Millay is closer to Programmatic than he actually is, because there actually is now a almost 20 to 30 second in-game timer gap that we're dealing with.
Which, okay.
That is not adjustment, because that would Programmatic's
that'd be the wrong side. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was sitting there like, okay, we're resyncing. Wait a minute. Oh, the death on Millay's side. Yeah, the bumpers are actually the worst, Dustin. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
You hit them at just a little bit of a weirder angle than you normally do, and you'll just go flying in an unintended direction.
There is a surprising amount of freedom, though, with them.
Yeah.
Like, there actually is a very large... Like, the angle that you need to hit it in order to go right is much more than just, like, a small amount. Like, it doesn't... It pretty much can only send you in 4 directions. I think, actually, in 8 directions. Like, just... And so, you can just... If you're between one, it will send you to a different one. That's all it really is, like, where it gets confusing.
Yeah. But of course, like, you very rarely get that time to, like, line up perfectly dead on with one of the cardinal directions, and a lot of times you're wanting that, like, bounce off of just below the northwest direction or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, battle and boost for both sides. Done easily for both of them. And yet again, Programmatic much further ahead than he appears because of the almost 30-second gap on the timers.
Very, very nice fight so far, but these early rooms really are not where the fight super heats up. It's really later on where deaths will cost you like 10 seconds that...
Right, some of the longer rooms that really occur in the second half of this fight. Okay, able to pull off the feather skip. I like getting as well, not able to keep dashes, losing the momentum a bit there, and having to land on a platform to recover the dash. Definitely lost him at least a second. Yeah, so I since we do have some newer people in the chat, I guess, yeah, so the reasoning behind why in-game timers, why we go by in-game time and all this stuff, in-game timers actually pause on the chapter select screen, so people can completely just stop playing and take a little break between chapters. And so, depending on how long they take between chapters, that can cause bigger or smaller time differences on the in-game timer. But we'll definitely resync at Summit, yeah.
Yeah, and
because we just do that manually.
Yeah, and various little things like dying, for instance, will kind of pause the timer for just a small amount of times. So
yeah, the timer does actually pause in levels as well while you're playing them. Basically, it's any time that you don't have direct control over Madeline. So in the mid dash, the timer actually does pause for a couple frames. Same during screen transitions and deaths as well. So it does exist there. Also cutscenes, of course, have it a little bit there as well. So like all of these things can add up, but most significantly is definitely between chapters.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially us seeing Programmatic kind of wait around after completing his 5B. It was a big point where there was a big desync.
Oh, it doesn't pause for screen transitions? Okay. Okay.
I actually was about to say that it did, but I made sure to watch a screen transition before I spoke. But then when you said it, I just figured it only happened on some of them. Oh boy, Programmatic already with a death on the very first room of Summit.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have that resync in just a moment for y'all so you can see exactly how the lead looks.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, though, like one of the spots that it doesn't actually stop the timer, that is like on the tape grab. The entire cutscene of you grabbing the tape, the timer is still going in the background if you look. But the second that you touch a heart, it stops. Or at least like the red heart at the end of a B-side.
The timer, I mean, it technically stops, but it actually, the way they show it is by the timer slowing down to the point where it actually did stop. It's weird. I think that's how it works. I may be wrong about that one. I'm sorry. Okay, so now the timers are synced up.
So as we can see, Programmatic with a pretty nice lead already in the city section.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so Programmatic going to be starting up 1,000 meters. While Millay still in the middle of 500. Ooh, missing the coin there. Okay, yeah, Programmatic still having the lead and able to keep a pretty significant lead right now, but certainly not one that can't be met by Millay. This can turn. We're not at that gap where it really couldn't.
Well, Programmatic having to take a deep breath after that near death there.
Yeah, good save there.
And so, oh, a death at the very end of this 1500 room.
Yeah, it's the first screen, well, second screen of 1500, but really the first real screen of 1500.
This is, oh man, this is a bit of a monk ass for Programmatic.
Okay, now dealing with the second long screen. There are a few longer screens in 1500 meters, and the one that he had died on was is like essentially the first one.
Yeah. They're both in the same section now. Typically, Programmatic's been in the final orb room as Millay's entered, so you can see Millay gaining a little bit of time.
Well, also the sections get longer as we progress through the summit.
Yeah. The Mirror Temple section is surprisingly short compared to like the Golden Ridge section, though.
Yeah. I think because part of it is the difficulty. is supposed to like make up for the length, I guess.
I can certainly see it. Nice first try skip there.
Programmatic not expecting to make the jump off of the snowball. You can see it in its face. And taking the standard auto scroller skip there.
And had those 2 berries trailing behind it, but finally going ahead and collecting them.
Didn't have to. But felt like it is. No, we're on the auto scroller. We're on the auto scroller screen. You might as well wait for it.
Right.
And Millay having trouble on the only snowball screen as well. Choosing not to do the auto scroller skip either, or well, sorry, the bounding of the under the terrain one. That is still an auto scroller skip technically.
Yeah.
The newer one, relatively newer.
So now Programmatic in the mirror temple section.
Yeah, still keeping the lead.
Very nice movement so far.
Okay, and the key skip first try. Millay now on the orb room of 2,000 meters is going to be starting his 2,500.
Oh, the unfortunate spikes.
Having
And
trouble
again.
threading the needle, yeah. On the
Oh,
fourth
man.
try now of threading the needle, able to get it this time, but spending a bit of time on that screen. It is a shorter screen, so it's not a huge loss, but it's still 4 deaths, so
Yeah, that's, oh man, that's big.
3 deaths. 4 tries.
Still a pretty wide lead, but oh boy.
Oh!
And you can see the frustration in that reaction.
Yeah, just not happy about what happened on that screen.
He's finally able to make his way out though, but you can see that frustration. He's
Yeah.
not happy with his performance right now.
The last part, the last screen of 2,500 meters is a very difficult screen, and it's not unusual to see people die on this screen, but it definitely is heartbreaking every time you see it. Millay now taking a second death on the screen, so it is showing how hard of a screen it can be, but unfortunately taking 2 deaths here. Okay, looking good this time. Able to make it out. But Programmatic having quite a lead here.
He's already made his way over to flag 20.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to get through this final summit climb, and he is clutched the win. Millay having to go ahead and go all the way back down from not being able to dash up out of the crystal properly.
Yeah, was not able to get the wall boost that he wanted. Yeah, Millay just overall, this latter half of Summit is just not going well for him. I think he is not as much into the flow as he was before.
Yeah, that's certainly how it appears.
Not able to get the spike jump there. Go for that on the second time. Okay, Programmatic just hitting flag 6 while Millay is working on 14 right now. And now the final 5 flags.
Closing in on that win. Just a couple more checkpoints to go, and he will be at the end.
7 checkpoints that you can choose not to get at all. Like
Yep.
this number 2, not gonna get it. Nope.
No real reason.
Hopefully no real reason. And yeah, able to show that, able to get flag 1, not dying on flag 2's area at all, and being sent back to flag 3. That is always the worst feeling.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Programmatic going to be able to finish it out. Not loving the run, but is going to pull out a win, getting a 30-44.
Yeah, GG's to Programmatic. Millay not too far behind. Not a bad time at all.
You can see in his face that he knows he can do better. And also, yeah, that's also why his face was like that. It was he was missing BB by 10 seconds. So he was like, nearly got it.
Yeah. 9:14 summit.
And also,
just...
I think in his mind being like, I played like that and it was 10 seconds off PB.
Right.
I think that's
always
probably
a
what
huge
he's probably
thought for a
thinking
lot.
about.
That's always a big thought for a lot of runners is just like, how is that run close?
Yeah.
And Dustin in chat saying it's probably the first time he breathed since Summit started. That's why it was so deep.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Okay, Millay finishing it off as well. I did not get to see the gap there, actually. Pulling up the journal now, I see it, so... Less than a minute. Almost a minute. About 55 seconds. Oh no, 50 seconds. About
Yeah, not
31,
a
55.
bad run at all.
35, sorry.
GG's to both of these guys on a pretty nice race.
Okay, yeah. Now you can
Congrats to
see that he's
Programmatic for the
smiling, 'cause I
win.
think he learned that he won.
Yep. That must have been what he was checking on his phone.
Yeah.
Well, GG's to both of these guys. This was a pre-recorded race, so no interviews, unfortunately. But don't go anywhere, folks. We've got some more Celeste action coming up for you. Archie... Wait, sorry, I skipped ahead one. Flare Bear versus Black Pear. This should be a pretty nice one as well, so stick around for that. But for now, I'm Electric. I'll be signing off for the night. Leaving you all in good hands, though, with Troy of Athens. It was a pleasure coming with you, as always.
Yeah, good to talk to you, even if it was for only one race.
Yep. Well, we'll see y'all in just a minute. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.